Are tariffs and a global trade war going to be the norm from the year 2025 forward? I can make the argument that indeed what we are dealing with now never goes away. Why? Because of protectionism. I asked the question last week in a video on my high account here, is the current round of tariffs and trade war going to be the 2025 version of 1980's grain embargo? The thing is, that went away. Then we moved into, by the 90s and certainly by the 2000s, a globalization that was ultimately good for the consumer, bad for people that had manufacturing jobs in places like Indiana, where I'm from. The Rust Belt got hurt, but we got consumer goods at a very cheap price at Walmart, and globalization helped a lot of countries like China build an entire middle class. But the growth of the global economy has been predicated on more humans and more consumption. Everything from manufacturing hula hoops to making more corn is based on more humans to buy the hula hoops and the corn. More consumption, more growth, more humans. But we are in a situation where our population is about to stabilize globally and then begin declining. Our birth rates throughout almost the entire world, with the exception of a couple dozen countries, are plummeting, dropping like a rock. Places like South Korea, the fertility rate's 0.8, which is 1/3 of what it takes to replace your population. Here in the United States, we're at about 1.6, which is 25% below replacement rate. So what's this mean? It means that we're going to have fewer mouths to feed, fewer people to buy those hula hoops and whatever other manufactured goods we might be talking about, from electric cars to everything you might buy for your household. So what happens then? Countries don't like to take big economic setbacks, so they'll become more protectionist. All of a sudden, you don't want to give away what you've built, right? Nobody wants to go backwards economically and financially. So the answer is, let's seize up, let's protect what we have. Protectionism then will give rise to de-globalization, which is the absolute opposite of what's been going on for the last 50 to 70 years. So all of a sudden, these countries say, crap, we have a declining manufacturing sector. We have other countries that want to sell their goods to protect their manufacturing sector. Let's tariff the hell out of it. It's been going on with steel for quite some time. So you'll see it with cars, you'll see it with manufactured goods, you'll see it with agriculture. So what I see happening is ultimately more protectionism as the global population begins to decline, and then all of a sudden our economies start to also stagnate and then set back. Remember, as the population declines, it also gets older. 50-year-olds don't buy as much crap as 30-year-olds that are starting their life. And most importantly, 80-year-olds don't buy as much stuff as 40 and 50-year-olds. You don't need stuff anymore. So all of a sudden, we've got an aging population that's going to buy less globally, eat less, consume less, have less cars, less homes, less home with furnishings, etc. I see globalization coming to an end and de-globalization setting in. Then I see protectionism, where countries then seize up and decide they're going to protect their own industry and their economy through tariffs and through trade policy that restricts imports from other countries. Ultimately, this is going to be a big game changer, because all we've ever known, meaning the people watching this video and me, is globalization and growth of economies based on more population and more economic expansion. What happens when those things contract? That's where I see things going this point forward. Damian Mason, The Business of Agriculture.